Good evening and welcome to El Paso County Event Center for a massive matchup with major playoff implications between the Amarillo Wranglers and the El Paso Rhinos. Hi everybody, Guy Chiarenza here from the Sun City, as it's a big matchup in the South Division as two of the top four teams in the division square off here tonight. Amarillo Wranglers, losers of their last three, look to end a three-game skid. Rhinos, winners of their last three, look to continue their streak as they surge towards the top of the South Division standings. Most of these teams right in the mix for the Robertson Cup playoffs, as that is looming on the horizon with under 20 games remaining in the season for both teams. A little bit of a different story for both squads is how they got here, though. The Rhinos last season, 18-38-3-1. They are led by their second-year head coach, Joe Coombs, and leading scorers Frank Tefelsky, Torrey Lunn, and Medrick Bolduc have really righted the ship and turned things around here in El Paso, as the Rhinos now have a record of 27-10-2-2 in Coombs' second season. They're sitting at third place in the South Division with 58 points on the year. And a lot of us were wondering, could this success be sustained as the season went on? Looks like these Rhinos are no joke. They're well on track to make the Robertson Cup playoffs. As for the Wranglers, they went on a 9-game winning streak last season to clinch their first ever berth in the Robertson Cup playoffs. Fell in round one, but did a lot of great things heading into the next season. Got a new coaching staff in Ryan Anderson and Connor Yanni. President of Hockey Operations Harry Mahood has now assumed that new role. And the Wranglers, once again, right in the mix in the top of the South Division, squaring off for a playoff spot. They come into the matchup with a record of 23-13-5-2. They're in fourth place in the South Division with 53 points on the campaign. So you look at where the Wranglers are right now. The Rhinos currently sit in third with 58 points. Shreveport 2 ahead of them with 60. And of course, Lone Star at the top. The first two teams in the division get a first-round bye. Wranglers are 5 points behind the Rhinos. They're 5 points ahead of the New Mexico Ice Wolves. The Wranglers want to keep pace here in the South Division. They're going to want to continue to rack up points and keep winning games. Wranglers last time out lost 4-2 to the Oklahoma Warriors on home ice. Roman Zapto had a goal and assist for his 13th multi-point game of the season. That is the most out of any skater on the Wranglers roster. And Jack Ivey had a goal. It seems like every single night he's got one of those, as Jack is second in the North American Hockey League with 26 goals on the season. Look for those two guys to be catalysts for the Wranglers here tonight in terms of offense, as the Wranglers look to bounce back from a 3-game losing streak. Cole Semeniuk will make his Wranglers debut. He was acquired on the 2nd of February from the Corpus Christi Ice Rays right before the deadline, which was a couple of days ago before everybody headed up to top prospects. Semeniuk is the defenseman and played 2 games with the Ice Rays and a handful of games in the BCHL. I'm excited to see what he can do here tonight in a Wrangler uniform. Semeniuk was acquired from the Ice Rays in exchange for a 2025 fifth-round draft pick and a player development fee. Semeniuk had 1 goal and 1 assist in 13 games between the BCHL's Clippers and the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. So excited to see what he can do in a Wrangler uniform. Trade deadline has come and gone. Wranglers made a couple of moves. They also picked up former Maryland Black Bear Magnus Gadowski, who is not in the lineup here tonight, did not make the trip. Expect to see him sometime in the next coming weeks, as he was the final acquisition made by the Wranglers before the deadline hit. Rhinos made some moves themselves. We'll talk about those as the night wears on, but we also have some former Rhinos coming back here to El Paso to play against their former team. Luke Morris, who was a Rhino last season, was acquired through a trade, is now a Wrangler. We love having him play on our squad. Nick Troutwine, who is acquired from the Minnesota Wilderness earlier this season, was an El Paso Rhino last year. And Connor McDonough got his start in the North American Hockey League playing with the El Paso Rhinos. All 3 of them made the trip here to the Sun City and will look to get revenge against their former team. Another familiar face, this time on the Rhinos side, Ryan Ginger, former Wrangler, will be squaring off against his former team. As Ginger played 20 games with the Wranglers in the 2022-23 campaign, having 4 goals and 3 assists in that span before he was picked up by El Paso. It's going to be a fun night for hockey here tonight. This crowd still filing in here at El Paso County Event Center. They're going to blow up that inflatable Rhino head And the Rhinos are going to come out of that tunnel to my left and to my right. The Wranglers, sometime soon, will emerge. When we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network, we'll get to the starting lineups here in El Paso. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to El Paso, third meeting of the season between these two clubs. They'll play 6 more on the season, including tonight's game. This is the first of 4 straight games between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. 2 here this weekend, then 2 back at the bullpen next week, and then they'll face off on the second to last season for 2 more at the bullpen to finish off the season series on the weekend before the season's end. These are big games between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. Rhinos currently have 1 game in hand against the Wranglers, or I guess on the season to the Wranglers. For the Wranglers here, tonight is a good time to make up some ground. El Paso won the first meeting on the 24th of November, the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. They won that game 2-1 in overtime. And then the day afterwards, a miracle for the Wranglers, down by 1, late in the third period, 22 seconds to go. Roman Zapp buries the puck in the back of the net, sends us to overtime, and then on top of that, he gets the game winner. Wranglers win that one 3-2. Last time the Wranglers were in this building for a 2-game set, they picked up 3 out of 4 standings points on the road. In fact, that time that the Rhinos beat the Wranglers on the 24th of November, that was the first time that they beat the Wranglers ever. The all-time season series is very, very lopsided in favor of the Wranglers. The Wranglers are 17-0-1 against El Paso all time. So it seems like the Wranglers have certainly had the Rhinos number ever since the Wranglers franchise began back in 2021. But this season, the Rhinos have proven that they're no joke. They are for real. And we'll get to their starting lineup as they'll come out on their inflatable Rhino head any moment now. They'll send out their third line to begin the game. Number 17, Carson Triggs, former Kenai River Brown Bear. Was acquired earlier on in the season. Triggs has 7 points with the Rhinos in 17 games, 1 goal and 6 assists. He stands at 6'1", 185 pounds. He'll be on the left wing for El Paso to start the game. Down the middle, number 23, Bradley Walker, 6'1", 195 pounds. 19-year-old center for El Paso. Walker this season has 6 goals and 10 assists in 40 games. It's his first season in the North American Hockey League. Looks like he's off to a pretty good start. On the right wing, former Minnesota Wilderness, number 28, Eddie Schepler. We saw Schepler in a Wilderness uniform back at the North American Hockey League Showcase. He's now in an El Paso Rhino uniform, and he wears number 28. He'll be on the right wing. Schepler stands at 5'11", 185 pounds, and looks like he's set to turn 20 in just a couple of days. His birthday is the 25th of February. That's your starting line for the El Paso Rhinos. On defense, looks like they're going to start with number 18, Alexander Pellerin, and Tristan Zarski. For Zarski, this will be his first appearance in a Rhino uniform. He'll wear number 3, Pellerin number 18. Zarski was picked up from the Austin Bruins at the trade deadline, although he's also a former Corpus Christi Ice Ray. So it looks like it'll be Zarski and Pellerin to begin the game. For Pellerin, he's having a pretty good season. 9 points on the year, 1 goal, 8 assists, but it looks like he's pretty good, solid defenseman in his own zone. As he is a +11 on the campaign. And in goal for El Paso, it's going to be Joey Lavulo. Stands at 6 foot even, 180 pounds, 19-year-old goaltender from Amherst, New York. He's coming off a 6-3 win versus Colorado, where he stopped 14 of 17 shots. Lavulo on the season will be making his 11th appearance. He has a record of 7-1, 1-1 on the year, a 2.35 goals against average, an .897 save percentage, and 1 shutout. That shutout coming not too long ago on the 2nd of February, where he shut out the Colorado Grip, stopping all 15 shots that he saw. Last time the Wranglers were here to face off against the Rhinos, it was Cale DePape in goal for both games. DePape is no longer with the Rhinos. Tonight, it's Lavulo's net. He wears number 31. And now for your Amarillo Wranglers, the top line, the money line, Jack Ivey, Ben Ivey, and Jack McDonald. Number 93, Jack McDonald gets the start at left wing. Stands at 6'1", 185 pounds, right shot forward from East Aurora, New York, is having a fantastic campaign for the Amarillo Wranglers. In his sophomore season with Amarillo, McDonald has 9 goals, 26 assists for 35 points, is a +7 on the campaign. McDonald has 7 goals and 13 assists in his last 17 games. Down the middle, number 4, Ben Ivey, captain of the Wranglers, also having a stellar sophomore campaign, recently played in his 100th North American Hockey League game. And in fact, all 3 of those men on the top line, Ben Ivey, Jack Ivey, and Jack McDonald, have recently played in their 100th North American Hockey League game. So these are some guys that have got their experience and they're bona fide goal scorers as well as Ben Ivey. 10 goals, 22 assists, 32 points on the season. He'll be skating down the middle, standing at 6'4", 205 pounds. Left shot forward from San Diego, California. He's committed to play his college hockey at Army West Point. So is his brother, Jack Ivey, who's standing at the right wing. Number 6 stands at 6'3", 200 pounds, is a right shot forward from San Diego, California. And Jack Ivey having a stellar sophomore campaign. 26 goals on the year, that's second most in the North American Hockey League. He has 14 assists on the campaign as well for 40 points in 41 games. He leads the Wranglers in that department. Jack is also a +7 on the year, and he's almost a point-per-game player. So your top line for the Wranglers gets the start. Number 93, Jack McDonald at the left wing. Number 4, Ben Ivey down the middle. And on the right wing, number 6, Jack Ivey. On defense, former Rhino, former Wilderness, now a Wrangler, number 3, Nick Troutwine. Stands at 6'3", 210 pounds. Left shot defenseman from Eveleth, Minnesota. Has been very steady on the blue line for the Wranglers, as he will appear in his 19th game with Amarillo here tonight. Troutwine has 1 goal and 3 assists in his time as a Wrangler. To his right, number 19, Nolan Gagnon, the reigning defenseman of the month in the North American Hockey League. Stands at 5'10", 175 pounds, is a native of Metcalfe, Canada, and he's having an excellent season for the Wranglers here, as Gagnon on the campaign has 31 points in 41 games as a defenseman. 6 goals and 25 assists to be exact. He has 3 goals and 4 assists in his last 7 games. We talked about it just a couple of seconds ago, the reigning defenseman of the month in the league. In January, he had 4 goals and 9 assists for a +9 rating. He was fantastic, and the Wranglers are going to need to lean on him here tonight. They want to come out with a win against a very tough Rhinos team. In goal, it's going to be number 1, Connor McDonough. McDonough stands at 6'5", 210 pounds. He catches left-handers from Mendham, New Jersey. McDonough became a legend last season on the Wranglers' run to the Robertson Cup playoffs. This year, he has not disappointed. Seems like McDonough has shouldered a lot of the workload for the Wranglers this season, but he shouldered it well. And the Wranglers starting netminder will make his 36th appearance on the campaign. McDonough has a record of 19, 10, and 6. 2.39 goals against average, and a .910 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year when he blanked the Shreveport Mudbugs at the beginning of the month of November. The backup will be number 33, Andrew Peterson. The Wranglers are led by head coach Ryan Anderson and assistant coach Connor Yanni, as they look to pick up win number 24 on the year and inch closer to the top of the South Division. Second line from the Wranglers will be number 17, Topi Pukkanen, with number 89, Roman Zapp at the center position. And that right wing, number 27, Connor McNaughton. Third line, number 44, Trace Day at the left wing. Number 11, Luke Morris down the middle, the former Rhino, will play against his former team. And to his right, number 7, Elias Abrams. On the fourth line, number 22, Cole Robertson at left wing. Number 21, Morley Phillips down the middle. And number 9, Jacob Miller at right wing. Wranglers are dressing 12 forwards here tonight and 7 defensemen. Second D pairing, Martins Kruklitis with Kyle DeMarco. Third pairing, TJ Ritchie and Cole Semeniuk. And the extra defenseman is Henry McRoberts. Coming up next, the national anthem. We come back, first period puck drop.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
We are all set and ready to go from El Paso County Events Center. The Wranglers, wearing a white jersey with blue numbers and professional red trim, will skate from right to left. The Rhinos, wearing a black jersey, it's a two-tone one with orange accents and orange lettering, will skate from left to right as we get things started here in El Paso. In goal for the Wranglers, number 1 on his jersey, number 1 in our hearts, Connor McDonough, having a stellar campaign after he became a legend, leading the Wranglers to their first ever Robertson Cup playoff berth. McDonough looking to pick up win number 20 on this season. It was a record of 19, 10, and 6 on the season, making his 36th appearance as a .910 save percentage and 1 shutout. His opponent across from him in net, Joey Lavulo. Lavulo this season has a record of 7-1, 1-1, a 2.35 goals against average, an .897 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year. And without further ado, they've got that inflatable Rhino head out of the way. Wranglers and Rhinos will meet at center ice. And away we go from El Paso. Wranglers win the opening draw, look to shimmy down the right wing as Jack Ivey sends it in deep. First one in is Zarski. He'll send it around towards the near wall. Ben Ivey will shoot it, and that one is an early save from Lavulo. To the middle goes Eddie Schepler. He'll dash towards his right, move in and shoot, and it goes off the side of the net. Pings around towards the near half wall. A crunch is made by Jack McDonald on Triggs. He'll center it towards the middle for Schepler, and he fires wide left. Puck stays in the zone. Rhinos shoot it from the line over towards the corner. Wranglers meet it. Ben Ivey gets checked in front of his own bench by Triggs, but Jack Ivey has it at center. He'll knock it into the Rhinos' end and head towards the bench as the second line comes on. McNaughton tries to pinch and keep it down the left wing. Rhinos are able to exit as Torrey Lund will backhand it deep into the Wranglers zone. Kyle DeMarco, fresh off of a top prospect showcase appearance, will be the first man on the puck as Tefelsky is hounding him. Wranglers able to wedge it back out to center. It'll be picked up by Finnish defenseman Paavo Hiltunen. They'll slide it across as the Rhinos look to exit. Wranglers making it difficult on him. From center, it's Tefelsky. Quick pass to Lund. He'll dart towards his right. Nicely checked by Luke Morris off the puck. Play moves into the near corner. Lund wheels away from two Wranglers. He's able to move it towards the middle for Bolduc. He'll flip the script and send it towards the other side. And subsequently lose the puck to Topi Pukkanen. He was also coming off of a pretty decent performance at the top prospects showcase to the tune of 1 goal in the second game. Having a pretty solid performance in the first game where the South Division got shut out. As the Wranglers move in center ice, try and enter the attacking zone. Puck up for grabs as El Paso will send it into the Wranglers zone. The puck will go behind McDonough. Gagnon loses an edge, quickly gets back up, but the Rhinos will possess. Down the left side, Pellerin swings it around towards the near half wall. Rhinos able to get the puck as Ryan Ginger, the former Wrangler, gets pinned up against the boards. Rhinos get a sub on the blue line as Cade DeWolf joins the fray. Puck still pinned up against the boards. Now finally it pops free. Goes between the circles. Ben Ivy's able to slap it towards the far corner and then backhand it upwards for McDonald. Spins away from the pressure of LaBelle. Goes coast to coast for Gagnon. Gagnon sends it back towards the far side for Ben Ivy. Rhinos are able to pick up the loose puck off of his stick and slap it in deep and get a change. Gagnon hacks it around towards the far side wall. McDonald has it on a stick at his own blue line and finds Ben Ivy in stride. To the right wing, he's got Jack Ivy. He'll move in and shoot, and a save made by Lavulo. He'll eat that one up and stop time with 17 minutes to go in the first period, as the game is just 3 minutes old. Looks like this is going to be an exciting one. A lot of playoff implications here. Happy to have you here on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Pull up a chair, get a snack, a beverage of your choice, and enjoy some hockey on a Friday night with us. Draw is going to be to the left of Lavulo. It's going to be Bradley Walker taking it and winning it against Morley Phillips. As the Rhinos move down the near side wall. Have to flip it up to Triggs. Goes by him, but Walker bursts in to tap it behind McDonough. Play moves towards the far corner. Rhinos trying to wedge away from Morley Phillips. Unsuccessful in doing so. DeMarco steps in and wheels the puck around towards the near side wall where Cole Robertson will move it up ice. To the left wing, Miller shoots it wide of the net. Momentum carries it all the way back into the Wranglers zone where newest Wrangler Cole Semeniuk looks to play it up to Topi Pukkanen. Semeniuk was acquired from the Corpus Christi Ice Rays on the 2nd of February. He's playing in his first game as a Wrangler here tonight. He's off the wall, the puck comes to Topi Pukkanen. He'll meander behind his net and look to start the next breakout for the Wranglers. Pass goes astray, it's held into the zone by James Hooley III. McRoberts will pick up the puck in the near corner. A couple bodies collide as the puck moves around towards the far side wall. Semeniuk able to get a stick on it. Find McRoberts at the end wall. Tefelsky checking him, trying to steal the puck away. Bodies clustered up behind McDonough, who eagerly awaits to see what happens out of all this. 15:40 to go in the first period. Play still pinned up against that end board. Deep in the Wranglers zone. As now it's finally chipped away and all the way back out to center. Tim Mathis, who scored the first goal of the season series between either squad back in November, moves it into the attacking zone. Wranglers are able to force the Rhinos back out the center and will be picked up by Luke Lindsay. Luke Lindsay also appeared at the Top Prospects Showcase. The puck again trickles back into the Wranglers zone from center. Rhinos will possess 5 minutes into the game as Camden Bezier will move through center ice, enter the attacking zone. He drifts towards his right and gets checked off the puck by Luke Morris as the Rhinos look to reset and regroup. Down the left wing, Rhinos dump it in. McDonough out to play it. They'll ship it along in front of the Wranglers bench. Rhinos able to knock it back in deeper. As behind the cage is LaBelle. On his backhand, he gets it up to the left point, and fumbling the puck there was the Rhinos, and now moving upwards is McNaughton. Dumps a man down to the ice, and gets the pressure on the puck as his teammates now join him. McNaughton tries to center it, goes off a skate, stays on the far side, and now the Rhinos will possess. Dangerous chance there as Cade DeWolf fumbled the puck at the left point. Rhinos back into the attacking zone, but not for long as they get knocked off the puck nicely by longtime Wrangler Kyle DeMarco, the only member of the inaugural squad still on the Wranglers roster. Rhinos skate over the center ice logo, fired it in, wide of McDonough, glances off the end wall. He'll backhand it to Kyle DeMarco, who moves it up ice for Jack Ivey. Jack McDonald gains some speed, enters the zone. Moves towards his right, gets tripped up. Looks like we're gonna have no call. He moves around towards the near sideboards. Jack Ivey sends it in deep. McDonald over to Ben Ivey on the near side. Rhinos are able to move him away from the puck and force the Wranglers to reset and reload. Ben back in the attacking zone. He'll shoot high and wide. Rhinos quick to be on it. They're able to get it back out to center. They'll go by TJ Ritchie, and down the right wing goes Triggs. He'll shoot wide of the mark, and the puck will be held in by Jakob Derman. Wranglers able to get the puck back as TJ Ritchie from his own zone banks it off the wall and out to the red line. Pellerine loses the puck to Jack Ivey. Spinning, Jack tries to enter the attacking zone, but three Rhinos converged on him. And El Paso will possess through center. And there's a steal here. Trace Day enters to the left wing. Abrant back to Day, and they just couldn't connect on the pass. Good look there from Abrant and Day. As Tefelsky moves up ice down the left wing, he's only got Troutwine to beat, and a nice defensive play by Nick Troutwine to shut down Frank Tefelsky, the leading point scorer for the Rhinos. As the Rhinos are bottled up at the far half wall, they're forced to wind the puck in deep. Wranglers bounce off the end wall and charge up ice. A steal here from the Rhinos as Torrey Lund gets it away from Gagnon. The standout defenseman for Amarillo gets it back and banks it off the near wall and out to center. Mathis, forward pass on the stick of Bolduc. He'll play it backwards to Lindsay. Rhinos move down the left wing as Mathis will chop it in. Bolduc gets there first, tries to play it back up to the line, but looks like the Rhinos, bit of miscommunication there, weren't ready for it. They're forced back into their own zone with 11:50 to go in the first period. El Paso dumps it in. Kruklitis is the first man on it in open space. Plays it down the right wing for Morley Phillips. He'll gain center red and wind it in as Lavulo comes out of his net to play it. Behind the cage, Wranglers get it back on a steal and a centering pass. Almost ended up in the back of the net at the right point. Wranglers are able to drive it in deeper once more. El Paso looks to exit as it's on the stick of new Rhino Tristan Zharski. He's able to get it back out to the neutral zone. And he'll take a couple more bounces into Wrangler territory. Rhinos get a partial change. El Paso back on the attack as Ryan Ginger is pinned up against the end wall by Kyle DeMarco. Cade DeWolf also there. 3 Wranglers, 3 Rhinos as LaBelle joins. El Paso is able to control the puck for a moment. Robertson defending LaBelle. El Paso gets it up to the line. Right point, Lindsay shoots, goes off a couple of bodies and into the paraphernalia of Connor McDonough, and he'll hold with 10:45 to go in the first period. Scoreless game here in El Paso, but it looks like we've got a good one. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to Rhino Country. Scoreless game about midway through the first period. The Wranglers and the Rhinos scoring on for the third time this season. They split on Thanksgiving weekend, each team winning in overtime. It's the first game of a two-game set here, and then next weekend, the Rhinos will be back at the bullpen for the first time this season on the 16th and 17th of February. They get loud here at El Paso County Event Center. Next draw is going to be to the left of Connor McDonough to take it. It'll be Roman Zapp against Cade DeWolf. DeWolf wins it, gets it to the line for Lindsay. They'll whip it towards the goal. Deflection goes wide of the mark. El Paso had some men stationed out in front. Looked like they were trying to screen McDonough or get a tip in. Battle for it at the far half wall. Puck squeaks free to McNaughton. He's able to backhand it upwards. And here goes Roman Zapp with speed. Down the right wing, tries to dart towards the middle. And it gets knocked off his stick nicely by DeWolf. Behind the net, Rhinos are able to squeak it off the Wranglers' stick and kill that momentum for the Wranglers as they charge back up ice. Wranglers, Kyle DeMarco picks up the puck, banks it off the near wall, gets it out the center. Rhinos take a couple chops on it, as do the Wranglers. Puck trickles towards the far side boards. El Paso's able to possess as down the right wing. Goes off the skate of Eddie Schepler and in deep. McDonough backhands it along towards the far wall. McNaughton is there. Rhinos on the forecheck, able to shimmy it towards the far corner. Ben Ivy is able to lift it back out to center, and it takes a couple hops. McDonald is chasing after it. Zarski gets there. And looks like we're going to have our first penalty of the game as Zarski had touched up. It's going to be checking from behind on Bradley Walker of El Paso. So the Wranglers get to work on the man advantage for the first time here tonight. Wranglers power play, one of the best in the league, 6th at 22% coming into tonight's game. El Paso penalty kill, 20th in the league, 81.25%. As the Wranglers' top unit will get things started. Zapp to take the draw. Rhinos will possess off the draw and quickly send it down deep for an opening clear. So your personnel for the Wranglers to begin the power play: Nolan Gagnon, Jack Ivy, Ben Ivy, Roman Zapp, and Jack McDonald. It's Jack Ivy who leads the team in power play points. He's able to work the puck along to Ben Ivy. Zapp to back to Jack Ivy down the right wing. He'll skate in towards the net and shoot. Save made by Lavulo. Puck goes behind the goal line. Wranglers are able to flip the script and send it to the left point. Ben Ivy wiggles down the wall, gets it up top for Gagnon. Zapp to Jack Ivy. Zapp at the right circle. Jack Ivy at the line. Across for Gagnon. Back to Jack Ivy. He'll skate in and shoot. And a save made by Lavulo, and they immediately blow the plate dead. Doesn't look like, I don't think that puck made it to Lavulo. I think that hit a blocker out in front. That'll stop the clock with 8:51 to go in the first period. 1:13 to go on the Wrangler power play. Second unit is on. McNaughton with Pukinen, Morris, DeMarco, and Troutwine. McNaughton will take the draw and win it. He'll send it towards the wall. DeMarco holds it in on a clearing attempt. At the half wall, it's Morris to the middle for McNaughton, and a shot is stopped by Lavulo. Well, what a good play there for the Wranglers. At the half wall, it was Morris finding McNaughton between the circles. And he's got a wicked shot. Lavulo up to the task, though. Still a scoreless game with 8:43 to go in the first. McNaughton to take the draw again. He wins it. Finds DeMarco at the left point. He'll feed it to the half wall for Morris. Across, looking for Pukinen. It bounces off his skate and tumbles into the far corner. Mathis tries to pick it free. He gets jammed up against the end wall. There's under a minute to go on the Wrangler power play. 45 seconds to be exact. Puck is picked free by El Paso, and moving up ice is Frank Tefelski to the right wing for Lund. He'll dart towards the corner, move towards his forehand. Now spin back to his backhand to get checked off the puck by Kyle DeMarco. So Nothing more out of that for El Paso. 25 seconds to go on the Wrangler power play. Is down the right wing. Troutwine will fire it in. Pukinen gets there first. The puck bounces up into the air. It's corralled by El Paso back at center. Down the right wing is Bezier. Knifes his way towards the middle. Tries to take a backhand shot, but Jack Ivey was defending him. He's forced around towards the near side wall and knocked off the puck by McDonald. As the power play for the Wranglers expires, we're back to even strength. At center ice, Jack Ivey collides with Jake Cameron, one of the newer Rhinos. El Paso banks it off the wall into the Wranglers zone. It'll be an icing on the Rhinos as Semeniuk gets there. 7:19 to go in the first. Cole Semeniuk wearing number 39 for the Wranglers. He's so new, doesn't even have a name bar on his jersey. Previously wore number 4 with the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. Drawn to the left of Lavulo. Phillips, looks like he won it initially. Rhinos step in as Jacob Germain is able to get it back out to center for El Paso. Trickling puck picked up by the Wranglers as Phillips plays it back to Cole Robertson. Drive it down the left wing. The Rhinos will scoop that up and look to get to work. They'll bank it off the wall into the Wranglers zone. Eddie Schepler, the first one there. Rhinos get out to the line. Hooley wheels it around. There's a shot there is kicked away by McDonough. And onto the stick of Semeniuk. Wranglers touch it at center. Jacob Miller prods it into the Rhinos zone. Down the left wing is Schepler. He'll shoot off the leg of Semeniuk. Rebound is in between the circles. And Lund couldn't drive it home at the line. It's Lindsay shooting. And McDonough makes the save, but an arm is raised. Looks like the Rhinos are going to head to their first power play. The door to the Wrangler penalty box opens. And in goes Cole Semeniuk. So now the Rhinos power play gets to work, 21.9%. The top 5 unit for El Paso. For the Wranglers, their penalty kill, 83.3%. That's 7th best in the league. Rhinos set to head towards the power play. We come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
The penalty to Semeniuk is officially labeled as slashing. The 4 men out to start the penalty kill for the Wranglers. Troutwine, DeMarco, Zapp, and McNaughton. Draw will be to the right of McDonough on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. Wranglers win the opening draw. McNaughton in the near corner. Tries to pick it off the wall. Rhinos shimmy it free and wide open is a Rhino for a shot and a save made by McDonough there. As El Paso is on the doorstep, that was Paavo Hilton, and another shot goes off the side of the net from Tori Lund. Tefelsky has it, goes behind the cage, exchanges with Lund. Rhinos get it back up to the line on the stick of Jacob Germain, and he fumbles the puck and is forced back out the center on his own terms. As 5:47 to go in the first period, Wranglers doing a good job so far here on the penalty kill. As Tefelsky connects with Bolduc at center. Gets spotted up as he tried to enter the line, and the Wranglers are able to backhand the puck into the Rhino zone for a clear. 1:04 to go on the power play for El Paso. A little over 5 minutes to go in the first. Luke Lindsay plays it back as the Rhinos enter. Camden Bezier exchanges with Walker. Down below the goal line, Bezier takes a chop at it. Squeaks free, and the Wranglers get another big clear, this time courtesy of Nolan Gagnon. Fires it all the way down to Lavulo. 35 seconds remaining on the Rhino power play. As Lindsay down the left wing, he will enter. Little dump and chase action from him as El Paso looks to get to work. Wranglers shut down that opportunity with another clear. Behind the net, it's Lovulo to play it. He'll leave it for Lindsay. He'll feed it to the left wing for Ryan Ginger. He'll play it around. As it moves towards the near circle, Zap flags it out of the air. Penalty expiring. Right now we're back to even strength. The Wranglers go 1-for-1 on the PK. Zarski plays it in deep for Ginger. Cameron steps in, tries to play it back to Ginger between the circles. Wranglers are able to divorce him from the puck and move back out through center. McDonald with speed enters the attacking zone. Leaves it for Topi Pukkanen. Pukkanen shoots. It goes off a couple of legs and pops out on the far side wall. El Paso will possess. As Mason LaBelle moves it towards the neutral zone, McDonald will respond by firing it towards Lavulo. Takes a couple hops, and the netminder will glove it up and stop time with 3:48 to go in the first period. Still a scoreless game. Shot count reads 4-3 in favor of the Rhinos. Still time to make your pick as to who you think is going to score the first Wranglers goal of the game. For me, seems like a Topi Pukkanen kind of night. He's fresh off of a stellar performance at Top Prospects. He had one goal in that second game. The South team won by a hefty margin. He's my pick. You can make your pick in our YouTube live chat. As Gagnon fires it off the end wall, centering feed. Goes in and out the other side. Troutwine plays it up to Gagnon on the far wall. Tries to backhand it deeper into the Rhino zone, but it goes off a leg and back out to center. Amarillo will dump it in this time as Lavulo gets there first and plays it off a couple Rhino sticks and back out to center. Semenyuk, the Canadian native, will play it to Gagnon, also from Canada. As the Wranglers look to exit their own zone, Rhinos on the forecheck. That's Cameron pinning up Gagnon in the far corner. 3 Wranglers, 2 Rhinos. The numbers on the Wranglers' side, they're able to get it out of the puck battle. As Trace Day will exit his own zone. Jimmy towards his left and dump it into attacking territory. Lavulo will backhand it towards his left. Wranglers looking to hold it in to no success. Down the right wing goes Bolduc. Streaking towards the middle. For a shot is Cameron. And TJ Ritchie with a big-time block to make sure it never saw McDonough. Ben Ivey will pick up the puck in his own zone. Captain of the Wranglers. To play it forward for Jack Ivey, waiting in front of the Rhino blue line. Was off a stick, though, and into the Rhinos' possession. Zarski will play it D-to-D for Mathis. Now back to Zarski. Rhinos with their heads up will move up ice as it glances off the stick of Bolduc into the Wranglers' zone. 2:11 to go in the first period. McDonald gets tripped up at the blue line. Arm is raised, but it's for an offside, not a tripping penalty. You stay 5-on-5 with 2:04 to go in the first period. McDonald, one of those guys that seems to be able to make magic happen out of nothing, really. He's the magician of shorts, as he's able to, that time, enter the attacking zone with speed, but unfortunately Amarillo is offside. So they win the ensuing draw. Kuprilis gains the red line. He'll launch it in. McNaughton plays it to Pukkanen. He'll ride up the far wall, spin away from the pressure, moving towards the middle. Pukkanen tries to find McNaughton down low. Pass couldn't connect. Play goes behind Lavulo, up against the end wall. 2 Finns, Pukkanen and Hiltonen jarring there. Rhinos are able to free the puck, goes off a skate. Wranglers hold it in. McNaughton on his backhand. Finds Pukkanen. Topi Pukkanen very strong on the puck as the Rhinos converge in on him and steal the puck away. It'll be flipped out into the Wranglers zone. Kruklidis is there defending. McDonough is able to work it back up towards the neutral zone. 1:12 to go in the first. Rhinos have to go back on the attack as LaBelle takes a whack at it. Didn't get enough on it as players converge in front of the penalty boxes. Rhinos are able to dump it in on McDonough. He'll leave it for DeMarco. We're under a minute to play in the first. Wranglers dump it in. McDonald, the first one there. On his forehand, moves around towards the near side and gets shut down by Jakob German. Wranglers see the puck exit the Rhino zone and enter their own. As down deep is Pellerine. Defending him is Gagnon. Pellerine is able to find LaBelle on his forehand. He works it to the goal line and not much more is Nick Troutwine. He's able to bank it off the far wall and out all the way down towards Lavulo. 21 seconds to go in the first period. Rhinos looking for maybe one last attack sequence here. They'll dump it in. Troutwine first on it once more. Puck goes out of play with 8.3 seconds to go in the first. Looks like this next draw is going to be at center ice. Luke Morris will take it against Bradley Walker. Looks like we got a bit of a delay here. Looks like some time trickled off the clock. I'm gonna get that sorted out. For the Wranglers, getting the first goal could be pretty important for them. They're 13-1-1 when they score first. 10-12-4-2 when they don't. As Amarillo wins the ensuing draw, they'll dump it into the Rhinos zone, and that'll pretty much do it for the first period. Scoreless game here at the Paso County Event Center. Pretty quick moving first period. As coming up next, the first intermission report. We'll recap all the events of the first 20 minutes, look ahead to periods 2 and 3, and also check in on some scores from around the South Division, as it's a busy night, and we know there's a lot at stake. We'll talk about that as well. As it's a scoreless affair here in the Sun City. We'll be back in just a few moments on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to El Paso County Events Center for the first intermission report in what is a scoreless game here between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. Not a whole lot to report, I'll be honest with you. Just 2 penalties in the first period, one on El Paso, one on the Wranglers. Neither team able to capitalize on the man advantage. PK units standing tall and strong as we're still scoreless here in the first intermission. And not a whole lot of shots either. I think there was a point in time where maybe somebody forgot to update the shot count, but even then, right now it reads 4-3 in favor of the El Paso. From just what I saw, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of shots to begin with anyways, so that's the story so far. It looked like the Wranglers were able to get a few good offensive breaks, as were the Rhinos. Pretty evenly played first period. These two teams haven't seen each other since Thanksgiving weekend, so you got to keep that in mind, as I think we saw a little bit of a feeling out process to begin period number one. It was what is the first of many between the Wranglers and the Rhinos to close out the 2023-2024 campaign. This is the first of 4 straight matchups between the two. We'll head on over to the Budweiser bullpen when we're finished up here this weekend. We'll play tonight, tomorrow, and then again Friday, Saturday, next weekend. And those are some big-time matchups that you got to be there to see. Get your tickets at panhandletickets.com, because I know the 16th is going to be a big game against these Rhinos, of course, with playoff implications, which we're going to get to in just a moment. But, man, February 17th, now that's a night you want to be at the bullpen, as it is First Responders Night, presented by Smoke Wagon Beard Balm. We're going to have specialty jerseys, which, if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all of our social media channels, you'll see we just posted a teaser for those jerseys this afternoon. Full reveal drops tomorrow. Guys, these are awesome. These are one of the best specialty jerseys I've ever seen, and they're going to be auctioned off. They can be yours. Game worn. You have a chance to own it, as we'll be auctioning those jerseys off after the game on February 17th at the Budweiser bullpen. So make sure you're there. Get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. And head on over and enjoy some good hockey with us, as it'll be the final game of the 4-game set between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. These two teams will meet once more afterwards, towards the end of the regular season. 2 more matchups, the Budweiser bullpen on the second to last weekend of the regular season. Something tells me that those 2 games could prove to be pivotal in kind of things how things shake out in terms of the seeding for the Robertson Cup playoffs. At this point, it's looking like we have a pretty good idea as to who is going to make the playoffs. Barring a miracle run for the Odessa Jackalopes here down the stretch, looks like your 6 teams in the dance are going to be Lone Star, El Paso, Shreveport, Amarillo, New Mexico, and Oklahoma in some order. Now, what that order is right now, we're not entirely sure. But coming into tonight's matchup, you see the Wranglers and the Rhinos, 2 of the top teams in the South Division. Rhinos at 3rd right now, Wranglers at 4th. These games are huge. These are big weekends on the schedule. And for the Wranglers, I mean, every day is a great day for 2 points, but these are a little extra special, as they're trying to catch up to the Rhinos in the South Division standings, as the Shreveport Mudbugs as well, as the Wranglers look to clinch one of the top 2 seeds in the South Division and get that first-round bye. Wranglers 5 points back of the Rhinos entering tonight's action. So let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, see what's going on here, see what's at stake on a busy night in the North American Hockey League. Taking a little while to load. That's okay. As now we finally got it up. We'll start at Ector County Coliseum. New Mexico Ice Wolves taking on the Odessa Jackalopes. Looks like the Jacks have a 2-1 lead late in the second period, with goals from Riley Rosenthal and Michael Kadlasik. Tyler Pfister, lone goal from New Mexico to this point. Odessa looking to mount a playoff push and find a way into the top 6 of the South Division. They currently sit at 7th place. New Mexico is tied for that 5th place spot with Oklahoma, both at 49 points. Next, we head on over to Blazers Ice Center. Lone Star Brahmas taking on the Oklahoma Warriors. Brahmas with a 2-1 lead after 2 periods of play. Then we start getting goals from Charlie Masick and Owen Kerr. Oklahoma goal scored by William Ulrich. Warriors have been one of the hottest teams in the South Division as of late. Lastly, over at American Bank Center, about midway through the second period, no score between the Mudbugs and the Ice Rays. Wranglers looking to get a little bit of help from Corpus Christi here tonight, as if they are able to knock off the Mudbugs, Shreveport would stand pat at 60 points. And it looks like the idle team this weekend is the Colorado Grit, who have played the least amount of games in the South Division. They don't pick up any more here this weekend. Looks like it's going to be a lot of 3-3s for the Grit down the stretch, as they're well out of the playoff picture with a record of 8-26-3-2 for 21 points. It's the time of year where you really start to look at the playoff picture. You start to look and see how many points each team has, how many games remaining are on the schedule. For the Wranglers, this is game number 44. After tonight, 16 games will remain, and every one of them is going to prove to be pivotal. Oh my goodness, tongue twisted here in El Paso. But it's going to be critical that the Wranglers pick up 2 points every outing that they can. Amarillo with 53 entering tonight, El Paso with 58. I think that the Wranglers were able to sweep the Rhinos here this weekend. That's 4 points in their pocket. Then you head back to the Budweiser bullpen, just one back of El Paso for some matchups at home. And I think the theme of the season has been, if you're able to win on the road, and that'll suit you well. The Wranglers have done really good at home, 13-6, 2-0, 10-7, 3-2 on the road. Now El Paso has been excellent in this building, 13-2, 2-2. A little bit weaker on the road, 14-8 on the season. So you got to think, if the Wranglers are able to steal some points here in enemy territory, head back home, they're able to defend the pen, should be in good shape to catch up to the Rhinos, maybe even pass them when all is said and done at the end of the 17th at the bullpen. So that's what's at stake here tonight. Wranglers looking to climb up the ranks of the South Division. They can't move up and they can't move down with a win or a loss here tonight. El Paso, with the Shreveport loss, could potentially tie the Mudbugs for second place in the division, and with a loss, they would just stand pat at third in the South Division, although the Wranglers would inch closer. So that's what's at stake here at El Paso County Event Center tonight. And of course, big matchups here in the South Division against a Rhinos team that really everybody was like, yeah, you know, I don't know if those guys are going to be the playoff picture here this season. And again, we talked about it in the open. El Paso, 18-38, 3-1 on the year, only 40 points last season. The year before, a little bit worse, 15-41, 2-2 for 34 points. The Rhinos this season could very well go over the win total that they had over the last 2 years combined. The Rhinos have 27 on the campaign so far. So you think about adding the two totals of wins from the last 2 seasons, the Rhinos could surpass that here this season. It's been a pretty good bounce back year from Joe Coombs and company. They've gotten scoring when they needed it, and also defend pretty well. This is a Rhinos team that seems to be destined for the dance. These are one of the top teams in the South Division. Wranglers look to take them down here on a Friday night in February. We'll be back in just a few moments on the Wranglers Hockey Network. We'll preview period number 2 when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Scoreless game from El Paso as the first intermission report rolls on. Wranglers look to get the first goal of the game in the second period. Wranglers, when they score first this season, 13-1-1. When they don't, the opponent scores the first goal, 10-12-4-2. I think it's imperative that the Wranglers get the first goal of tonight's action. Wranglers have not scored the first goal for a while now. You have to go back 4 games. That Sunday game against the Colorado Grit on January 14th. The Wranglers are 1-3 in that last span. So I think about the Wranglers getting off on the right foot here in the second period, bringing that energy, getting that first goal against a Rhinos team that would like to play with the lead. The Rhinos are out of the top 4 teams in the South Division. They score the least, and the least amount of goals for out of those 4 clubs. And so you think about a Wranglers team that has shown that they can score, they can also defend and hold a lead. I think it'd be very imperative that the Wranglers get off on the right foot here and get that first goal. As much as we all loved that miraculous comeback the last time we were here with Roman Zapp scoring with 20 seconds left to go and then winning it in overtime, I think the Wranglers very much would like it if they didn't have to play from behind and find a way to miraculously pull a win out of nothing. I think they'd rather like to come back, or at least, just play with the lead and play their style of game. I thought that first period was pretty even. Didn't seem like any team really had the edge. Both teams had some really good scoring looks. McDonough made some fantastic saves. Lavulo made stops when he needed to. Pretty low shot volume here in the first period. See if the Wranglers can up that in period 2. I think for the Wranglers, I think you got to bring the energy here to begin the second period. Got to find a way to find that goal in the back of the net. I think everything else will start to fall their way. You just have to stick true to your nature, play your style of game, dictate the terms, and you'll be just fine. As both teams are set to take the ice here in just a few moments for second period action. Still going with my gut. I still think Topi Pukin is going to score the first goal of the game. You can make your pick in our YouTube live chat if you're listening over there. Otherwise, you can make your pick on our game day post on either Facebook or Instagram. As it's a big game here in Rhino country. Wranglers and the Rhinos scoring off for the 3rd time this season. We'll be back in just a minute on the Wranglers Hockey Network, and when we return, second period action from El Paso. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to the kettle corn capital of the world, El Paso, Texas. Scoreless game entering the second period of play between 2 South Division rivals. It's a very rambunctious crowd here in El Paso, known for making a lot of noise. They're getting loud here, although something's missing. That guy that usually blasts the horns to my right, and the guy with some kind of drill mechanism to make some even louder noise, I don't see him, and I don't hear him. That could bode well in the Wranglers' favor here, as having some fun on a Friday night. Wranglers looking to come away with 2 pivotal points on the road. Rhinos will skate from right to left, Wranglers from left to right, as you see it on NATV, and we'll paint a picture for you here on our YouTube audio stream. As the same unit that started the game for the Wranglers will start the second period, as for same for the Rhinos. Connor McDonough scoring off against his former team. Has been perfect so far, stopping 4 of 4. Joey Lavulo has stopped 3 of 3. We are underway here for second period action as the Wranglers win the opening draw period 2. Puck goes off a stick and out of play on the near side. Goes up and over the crowd, nobody hurt there. Ensuing draw is going to be in front of the Rhino bench. Ben Ivy will take it against Bradley Walker. Walker wins it, and from the red line, Zarski will dump it in. Play moves behind McDonough and onto the stick of Nolan Gagnon. Tries to chip it down the near wall. Turning and shooting there was Walker. And goes wide of the net. Sneaky shot, almost found its way home. From the right point, Rhinos able to whack it down behind McDonough. Shepler throttles it back behind the cage. Ben Ivy has a Rhino pinned up against the boards. Troutwine steps in. Wranglers trying to jar the puck free. Play moves towards the far corner. Seen a lot of these puck battles here tonight. As Triggs backhands it back into the corner. Ben Ivy gets hauled down. Still at even strength though, no arm is raised. 3-man officiating crew here tonight. As Troutwine will pick it up on the near side. Find Jack Ivy at center. He directs it towards the far wall. McDonald races after it. And he beats out Zarski to the puck. Gets hauled down and draws a penalty. Wranglers will head back to the power play. Great effort there by Jack McDonald to draw the penalty. And that's the kind of player that he is. He's very hard on the puck. Moves with a lot of speed. Wranglers look to open the scoring here tonight with a power play goal. 1 minute and 8 seconds into the second period. This draw is going to be to the right of Lavulo. Far circle, second unit will begin things here. As McNaughton will take the draw, Pukin into his left, Morris to his right. Troutwine and DeMarco manning the blue line. McNaughton wins the draw. DeMarco chips it over towards the near corner. Rhinos get there first. Wranglers pounce on it, and they hem them into the zone. Squeaks free to Luke Morris. He backhands it towards the near circle. The only man there is Torrey Lund. He drops it off for Pellerine. He'll shoot, and it goes wide of the net. Pops back out at center. Wranglers have numbers the other way. Potential 3-on-1. Down the left wing, McNaughton tries to center. Goes off a skate and back to his tape. Dishes it to DeMarco. Now down low, it's Pukkinen. Tries to go across in the blue paint, looking for McNaughton. It goes off a stick and behind the net. And now the Rhinos will get it on the stick of Pellerine. And he'll wind it into the Wrangler zone for a clear. 1:16 to go on the Wrangler power play. Nolan Gagnon will lead the charge. In January, he announced that he's going to play his college hockey at the University of Alaska Anchorage. As Jack Ivy on his forehand gets it to McDonald in the far corner. He and Zapp will play catch. As McDonald tries to shimmy it up to Gagnon. Pass is intercepted by Shepler, and he'll send it down the distance for another Rhino clear. Wranglers set and reload as Ben Ivy dishes it towards his right for Zapp. Feeds it back to Ben Ivy. Make that Jack Ivy. Stealing it away are the Rhinos. Down the right wing is Eddie Shepler. He'll shoot. Save made by McDonough. And he will melt it down with 17:29 to go in the second. 37 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. As it is Tristan Zarski in the box. Looked like the Wranglers have done a couple of good things here on this man advantage, but just haven't found a way to kind of get what they wanted going. So a little bit of time for them to do so. This defensive zone draw is won by Amarillo. Look to start maybe one more charge here on the man advantage. Kyle DeMarco, the man that leads that charge. Stretch pass on the tape of McNaughton. Dishes it towards his left, and he was looking for a man. Comes to Pukkinen, alone is DeMarco to the left side. Morris, he scores! Luke Morris with a goal against his former team, and the Wranglers take a 1-0 lead. And that was some quick puck movement there by the Amarillo Wranglers. Moving so fast, they could barely keep up, and Luke Morris wide open back door. Lavulo had no chance getting back in position to make that stop. And the Wranglers take the 1-0 lead. So they get that first goal of the game. They'll look to build upon it. on the ensuing shifts. El Paso wins the ensuing draw. Tim Mathis banks it off the far wall and into the Wranglers zone. Cameron tries to leave a drop pass. McDonald is there to pick it up. And the Wranglers will possess as DeMarco hoists it into the air for Jack Ivey at center. Bouncing puck settled down in front of the Rhinos' blue line as McDonald throws a hit on Bezier. Now Bezier will move down the left wing. Ben Ivey defending him nicely, directs him towards the end wall. Play pops out on the other side as Ben gets tripped up. Stay even strength as Zarski will hack it towards the near corner. DeMarco will play it around for Ben Ivey. Looks to find a man moving up ice. The pass is offline, and the Rhinos quickly go back on the attack as Ginger shoots and goes off the stick of DeMarco and wide. Bruklidis, stretch pass, looking for Jack Ivey. Does not hit. And that'll be an icing on the Wranglers with 16:10 to go in the second period. So for Luke Morris, he picks up his 6th goal of the season from Kyle DeMarco and Topi Pukkanen. To open the scoring. Off the defensive zone draw. DeMarco lifts it towards center, glove down by Pellerine. And now Ginger will feather it towards the middle. Wranglers pick that off and force the Rhinos to reset. As right wing, DeWolf. Do a little dump and chase action. Bruklidis gets in between that. Wranglers back out at center. Jack Ivey strong on the puck. Finds McDonald at the blue line. As at center, Rhinos will dump it into the Wranglers zone. McDonough keeps it moving towards the near side. Players converge at the half wall. Rhinos in the middle of a partial change as the Wranglers possess the puck down the far wing. DJ Ritchie playing it forward. He was looking for Abrant. Rhinos get in the way of the puck. Now the Wranglers get some fresh men on. Rhinos dump it in. Chasing after it is A.J. Reed. Tried to hack a shot towards the goal. He was defended by Semenyuk. Cole Robertson will play it into the Rhinos zone. Chasing after it is Miller. He gets spinned off the puck by James Hooley III. And now they'll jostle for it at the end wall. Puck comes free, turning, shooting, and on the doorstep is Miller. But Lavulo makes the stop and play goes behind the Rhino cage. 14:33 to go in the second period. Wranglers with a 1-0 lead off of Luke Morris's 6th goal of the season. As Reed will bank it off the near wall. Defelski was charging up ahead. He gets bottled up in the near corner by Troutwine, and the Wranglers were able to get it back out to center. Rhinos skate over the center ice logo, dish it towards their right. Germain, defended by Morris, spins towards his forehand. Finds Cameron, exchanges with Bolduc, who's somehow able to escape the pile. Find Mathis for a shot, and a glove save by McDonough. 13:52 to go in the second period. A good save there by number 1. That was one of those plays where it looked like the Wranglers had Bolduc contained, and he somehow found a way to emerge from the pile right up the far wall and find Mathis for that shot. Medrick Bolduc having a pretty solid season for El Paso. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 games, 30 points in 39 games entering tonight's action. He also represented El Paso at Top Prospects, where he had 2 goals in that second game in the South victory. There's a shot from Bolduc that's stopped by McDonough. Play goes all the way back into the Rhino zone where Luke Lindsay will field the puck. And he will just jam it back out to center. Wranglers possess and move into the attacking zone. Zapp directs it off his stick. McNaughton will chase it on his forehand, gets it back to Zapp at the far half wall. At the line, Kruklita shoots, and it's blocked by Bezier. DeMarco a try, and that one screeches wide. Kyle DeMarco's got a wicked shot, just couldn't find the back of the net. Zapp to the middle looking for McDonald. Rhinos got a stick on it, but don't get it out. So the Wranglers tumble it around towards the near side wall. McDonald exchanges with Zapp in the corner. Will work his way up. Leave it for Ganiel. Tries to drive his way deep. Jack Ivey will throttle it behind the cage. McDonald tries to get one in on the wraparound, but the Rhinos are quick to sniff it out and send the puck back out to center. Wranglers possessing the puck well, though. Go back on the attack for a moment. Looks like they tried to fire it in to start the next attack, and it looks like it went off the leg of the linesman and into the Wrangler bench. 12:39 to go in the second period. Wranglers lead 1-0. Shot count 7-4 in favor of El Paso. Neutral zone draw in front of the Wranglers bench. Ben Ivey against a Wolf. Ben wins it. It's to TJ Riching from center red. He'll fire it in. Hiltonen will go D to D as the Rhinos will exit their own zone. Glancing off the stick of Ginger at center and deep into the Wranglers zone. McDonald on the far wall. Next with Jack Ivey at center from the blue line. He's able to throw it across from Rick Roberts streaking in. Players converge at the end wall. A play that we've seen happen a couple times so far here tonight. Rick Roberts jostling with two Rhinos. Ben Ivey steps in, picks up the puck, gets dragged down to the grounds. No penalty to be had. As McDonald on the forecheck sends it towards the far corner. Tries to pick the pocket of the Rhinos, but El Paso is able to get it back out to the Wranglers zone. And behind the plate, looks like McDonald got caught up high. Arm is raised. We're going to get a penalty on El Paso. McDonough heads towards the bench for the extra skater. Delayed penalty sees the Wranglers head to a 6-on-5. McDonald back on his feet. Looks like he's going to be okay. I assume the penalty is going to be high sticking. As Zapp moves towards his right for TJ Ritchie. He'll wheel it around onto the stick of Hooley the third. He'll touch up. Wranglers head to the power play with 11:20 to go in the second period. The Wranglers, who are 1 for 2 on the power play so far here tonight, look to go 2 for 3. The first goal from Morris was scored on the power play as Kate the Wolf gets a penalty. 2 minutes for roughing. Wranglers forced to start from their own zone as Troutwine will backpedal to the comfort of below his own goal line. Find DeMarco. He'll bank it off the stick of Luke Morris, who chips it in. Wranglers look to get to work. As Morris on the attack. Gets it to his backhand, and the Rhinos crunch him up against the wall and send it back out to center. DeMarco plays it off his own end wall for Troutwine. He'll do the same to DeMarco. As those two will look to lead the next charge for the Wranglers on the man advantage. Is down the left wing. McNaughton centers it for Pukkanen. He'll rumble into the attacking zone, cut towards the net, and can't get a shot off as he got dragged down. El Paso gets it back out to center ice as Eddie Schepler stops in the neutral zone, converges in front of his own bench, and Wranglers wanted too many men on the ice penalty as El Paso is trying to make a change, and looks like they're going to get it. So 5-on-3 here for the Wranglers for 1:05 in the second period. It's going to be served by James Hooley. First unit out there, Zapp will take the draw against Walker. Far circle of the El Paso zone. Zapp wins it, gets it to McDonald. At the line, it's Gagnon. To Ben Ivy, down low for Jack Ivy. Back to Ben at the top of the left circle. He'll play catch with Jack Ivy as they exchange once more. Jack to the line. Cuts towards his right. Spins back to the high slot. Across for Ben Ivy, one-timer, and that one screeches wide, but Gagnon holds it in the zone. McDonald, below the left circle, across for Zapp, and he just couldn't drive it home. The pass had too much heat on it. Back up at the line, it's Gagnon, drifting towards his left. Fakes a shot, moves it to Ben Ivy. Back to Gagnon, top of the left circle. Down low is Zapp. They'll go around the net, leave it for Jack Ivy. He'll center it. It goes off a stick, and the Rhinos get a clear. 19 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Gagnon calling for the puck. McDonough is out to play it. He's not going to get it off in time. He'll just leave it for Gagnon, who's back in his own zone. 7 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3 as Jack Ivy enters the attacking zone. Finds Zapp moving in. Zapp shoots off the pipe and in! Roman Zapp scores on the power play, and the Wranglers take a 2-0 lead. It's not going to come on the 5-on-3, but another PPG for the Wranglers, and they extend their lead to 2. Saw it ping off the pipe. You heard it. I thought for a second it might come out of the back of off the post and back out into play, but the bounce was in the Wranglers' favor. Bounces into the back of the net, and Amarillo now has a 2-0 lead. Rhinos win the ensuing draw. They'll dump it into the Wranglers' zone. To the right point, Julia's shot. It's blocked by the Wranglers. Down the right wing, Jacob Miller enters. He'll shoot, and it goes off the leg of Zarski. Up into the air, stays in play. Rhinos able to chop it back out to center. Kruklitis will drive it back in. Avulo leaves it for Zarski. He'll move down the right wing, center it for Tori Lund. At the left wing, waiting for it is A.J. Reed. Enters the attacking zone, gets bumped off the puck. Wranglers will possess. Kruklitis will settle down a bouncing puck. Tries to spin it around to Jacob Miller on the far wall. Giger gets in the way of that at the line. A shot, Lindsay wide of the mark. Rhinos able to keep possession, is behind the net. They'll center it. Pad save by McDonough. And on the rebound, they fire it wide. Rhinos get it back. LaBelle to the middle for Ginger, and that one stopped by McDonough as well. Couple big saves from Connor McDonough, but I don't think he's done yet as the Rhinos get the puck back. LaBelle centering. At the line, it's Lindsay. He'll shoot looking for a deflection, and it goes wide in the nets. Up and over and behind the cage. Wranglers get the puck back. Look to get it out, but it's held in by Lindsay. He'll bank it off the wall. Finds Shepler. Turns to the left side for Pellerine. He'll shoot, and it goes wide, and the momentum will carry it all the way back into the Rhinos zone. Wranglers get there first to the middle, and it goes off a stick and out of play. Miller was looking for Robertson, and it looked like they might have had a step, but both of those guys are gassed at the end of that extended shift because of the zone time that the Rhinos had. El Paso able to get back on the back check and shut that play down. Wranglers have a healthy 2-0 lead with 2 power play goals, one from Luke Morris and the other from Roman Zapp. We've got about 7 minutes left to go in the second period. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to El Paso. Draw to the right of Lavulo. Far circle of the Rhinos zone. El Paso wins the draw and goes off a stick and out of play. It looks like meanwhile, behind the play, McNaughton got caught up high. Looks like they're not going to call a penalty though. .7:18 to go in the second period. Looks like they blew the horn. And we get to take another timeout. All right, well, I guess we'll be back in a no, you know what, we're gonna keep it here. They'll bring out the ice crew. I mean, we just had one. I'm not quite sure why we're getting another one, but yeah, we got it. They'll scrape that ice away from the benches. 7:18 to go in the second period. Wranglers with a 2-0 lead. They did exactly what they needed to do, get that first goal, and they get that next one to take for what not right now is a commanding 2-0 lead. You also think about the Wranglers scoring both of those goals on the man advantage. Special teams playing a factor here tonight. Wranglers with 2 PPGs. And have been stout on the penalty kill so far tonight. They've been perfect. Zap wins the draw. Rhinos possess it off the boards. He's down the right wing. Germain enters on his backhand. He'll twist it below the goal line. Rhinos will help it along towards the near side boards. As Bezier will center one looking for Tefelsky, and that pass is intercepted by Zap. He'll move up ice. Down the right wing for Pukkanen. Stops to the middle looking for McNaughton, and the Rhinos are able to knock it off his stick. Tefelsky goes the other way. He'll toss it towards the near corner. Kruklides gets there first. I think that McNaughton. Players get bunched up in the corner. Rhinos come away with it. They move towards the middle. Mathis shoots wide left. Tefelsky picks up the puck. Exchanges with Mathis. He'll move down the left wing. Around the net he goes. Tries to wrap around, and McDonough is up to the task. From center, Tefelsky finds Zarski. Dump it into late offside on the Rhinos. Forced back out to center as the puck gets lifted up and into the Wranglers bench. Just a couple feet away from my face. Looks like Nick Troutwine was the one who made that play. With 6:05 remaining in the second period. This is one of those hostile environments. Fans can get very, very loud in this building. And the Wranglers, by scoring the first 2 goals of the game, have really silenced this Rhinos crowd. I mean, yeah, you still got some kids dancing around. That's normal. But the real noisemakers have been silenced here. Kruklides will loft it into the Rhino zone. That's an icing on Amarillo with 5:55 to go in the second. This draw is going to come all the way back to the left of McDonough, far circle of the Wranglers zone, excuse me. Ben Ivy will lean in and take it. Rhinos win it. Zarski will slide it behind McDonough. Bolduc is there. He gets wedged off the puck for the moment by Kruklides. Walker steps in and gets it back for El Paso. From the corner, Bolduc. Twisting and turning up against the half wall. Gets some help from Walker to flip the script and send it towards the far side. A.J. Reed. Skate to stick, turns and shoots, goes up into the air, and the Rhinos flag it down. McDonough makes the save. As exiting the zone is Kruklidis. McDonough with some big saves here in the second period. McDonald gets tripped up at the Rhino blue line. Looks like the Wranglers are going to head back to the power play. Here, a bunch of Rhinos fans groan, because they know the Wranglers have scored 2 goals on the power play here and are just itching for a third. So taking a seat for the second time here tonight, Tristan Zarski, not the way he wanted to start his first game as a Rhino. It's going to be 2 for slashing. With 5:12 to go in the second period, Wranglers looking to get another power play goal. Draw to the right of Lavulo. Far circle of the Rhinos zone. Second unit gets things started on the man advantage. McNaughton will take the draw against Bezier. Looks like for the moment the Wranglers win the draw, and they do. McNaughton gets it to the line for DeMarco. Down low is Morris. Tries to center it. Goes off a leg. But onto the tape of Topi Pukkanen. McNaughton finds Morris behind the net. Backhanded back to Connor McNaughton, who finds Topi Pukkanen at the half wall. McNaughton down low from Morris. Score! What a play from Topi Pukkanen and company. Luke Morris has his second goal of the game. And then the Wranglers, with their third power play goal, take a commanding 3-0 lead. Story of the game so far, the Wranglers power play. My goodness. It's a top 5 unit in the league for a reason. As their numbers will certainly go up after tonight. And now, beautiful sound of silence, as the Rhinos fans have been dulled to a murmur. Puck at center ice. El Paso, Luke Lindsay will move it forward looking for LaBelle. Goes out of his reach. Behind McDonough, Gagnon fields it for Troutwine. Up to the right point. Lindsay dashes it back in. Centering feed from Ginger onto the tape of Triggs. He fires it off the side of the net. Centering pass. Shot flubbed by Lindsay. Puck stays in the Wranglers zone. Play goes corner to corner on the far side. LaBelle waiting for it at the half wall. Drops it in deeper. Ginger to the middle for LaBelle. He'll turn and shoot. Kick save. McDonough. And Troutwine will pick up the puck. Wranglers will exit with 4 minutes to go in the second period. Puck rolls in on Lavulo. Abrant was lurking in the area. Lavulo elects to cover and hold with 3:55 to go in the second. Wranglers 3-0 lead. All have been power play goals. So the Roman Zapp goal is listed as unassisted, but the most recent goal from Luke Morris is 7th of the year and 2nd of the game is from McNaughton and Pukkanen. What a big play that was. For Pukkanen to find McNaughton down low, who had eyes on the back of his head to find Luke Morris waiting back door. He ripped the shot into the twine to go up 3-0. Wranglers win the draw from the line. They hold it in. Phillips on the far wall. Gets dragged down. No penalty. I'm sure Rhinos fans are sick of that as they dip it into the Wranglers zone. DeMarco's the first one there. They'll get it back out to center for Cole Robertson. Looked like he was jumping for Phillips to move upwards, but pass goes astray and the Rhinos will possess. McDonough will find Phillips on the far side wall. Will cut towards the middle. Find McNaughton moving in. They'll chop it into the Rhinos zone. Play goes towards the near corner. Players bunch up. Wranglers get a partial change as Lund scurries away from the pile. Plays a forward pass for Tefelsky. Look to connect with Bolduc at center ice, but the Wranglers get in the way of that. Ben Ivy for Jack Ivy. Off the wall into the zone. Rhinos' Tori Lund will pick it up. And twist it around to the Rhino blue line for Tefelsky. Semenyuk tries to move the puck forward. Rhinos are able to get in front of it. Teams exchanging possession here with 2:32 to go in the second period as McDonald moves upwards, and we've got a fight behind the play. McRoberts going at it with Bolduc. And they both get dragged down to the ground, but it looks like McRoberts got a good couple of lefties in there, and he comes out on top of the pile. You don't mess with Henry McRoberts, and you don't mess with the Amarillo Wranglers. As Henry's fired up, they're going to take him to the tunnel. And they'll do the same to Bolduc. And the Rhinos have found out very, very quickly that if you mess with the Amarillo Wranglers, you're in for a rough night. See an in-arena replay. Looks like Bolduc took a couple shots from McRoberts, trying to get one in on his own, and the momentum from both guys swung them both down to the ice. McRoberts ends up on top. So Bolduc gets 5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. And the same to McRoberts. So we'll both see them back about halfway through the third period. As some fans chug some beers. Well, I mean, it's in a can. You got to do it in a clear cup so we can see if you actually chug the whole thing. So neutral zone draw won by El Paso. We've got some catching up to do. As they move it into the Wranglers zone. Looks like they're laid offside on the Rhinos. They touch it up, 2:19 to go in the second. Looks like they're going to put this draw to the left of McDonough. Looked like initially it might have been in the neutral zone, but stays in the Wranglers zone. It'll be Ben Ivy to take the draw. Walker wins it, tries to drive towards the net. McDonough shuts that down quickly. With 2:16 to go in the second period. Afterwards, we get a convergence behind McDonough's net. Quickly broken up, though. Looks like that next draw is going to be in that same circle to the McDonough's left. Wranglers get some freshmen on. McNaughton, Pukinen, Zapp out there. Second line with Troutwine and Gagnon, the 2 D-men. Zapp will take it and win it. Troutwine, it's caught up between some pressure. Rhinos with the puck. We'll drop it back behind McDonough. Wranglers trying to step in and get out of their own zone. Rhinos on the forecheck, making life difficult as Gagnon throws a big hit below the goal line. My goodness, he just turned him into roadkill. As the Rhinos still trying to hem the Wranglers in their own zone. Gagnon will play it forward. Takes a couple hops in the neutral zone, goes all the way back down into El Paso territory. No icing with 1:36 to go in the second. At the right wing, it's Triggs. Flubs on the initial shot. Moves in towards the middle, takes a nice one and a save made by McDonough. Rebound bounces to Zapp. And from the left wing, he'll just toss it on goal to Lavulo. He'll keep it moving as he leaves it back for Mathis. To the right wing, off a stick. Humps onto Kruklidis' tape. Playing in his 5th game as a Wrangler. And drive it in. Mathis again gets it out of his own zone. Wranglers again quick to pounce on it. Move it back into Rhino territory as Germain gets it out to center ice. DeMarco fields it in his own zone. Rhinos pressuring, shooting's LaBelle. McDonough with the save. And Jack Ivey turns up ice with 47 seconds to go. Hits McDonald down the right wing. He'll shoot. Say Lavulo, rebound in the blue paint. And the Wranglers can't fire it home. Rhinos down the left wing. Torrey Lund picks up some speed. Lund cuts towards the net. And he's shut down nicely by DeMarco and McDonough. From below the goal line, tries to center one. At the left point, Hiltonen fires. It's blocked by Ben Ivey. Hiltonen gets it back. He'll swing it around. Behind the net waiting is Lund. Moves back towards the near side. Twisting away from the pressure of Kruklidis. He tries to whip it around towards the far side. Zarski muscles McDonald away. Proddles it along to Lund on the near side. Centering. Shot to Felski. And that one's blocked. Second try. McDonough makes the save. And DeMarco sweeps it away. And that is how the second period ends. And Kyle DeMarco with a big-time block on the shot of Frank Tefelsky. And Kyle DeMarco, fresh off of a excellent performance at Top Prospects, is able to deny the leading scorer for the Rhinos at the horn. 3-0 your score. Wranglers with smiles on their faces heading into the second intermission as they have the lead after 2 periods of play. Coming up next, second intermission report. We'll recap the events of the first 2 periods, preview period number 3, take a look at some scores from around the league as it's a busy, busy night in the North American Hockey League. All that and a whole lot more coming up next on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. 3-0 your score as the Wranglers lead after 2 periods of play. 3 power play goals in the second period has lifted Amarillo to a very healthy lead entering the third period. No scoring in the first, only 2 penalties, one on both sides. In period number 1, saw things open up very much so in the second period as the Wranglers got to work with a couple of power plays and able to capitalize on them. Open the second period with the power play as Amarillo was able to capitalize just 2 minutes and 49 seconds into the second period. Luke Morris on the power play from Kyle DeMarco and Topi Pukkanen gives the Wranglers a 1-0 lead. And then later on, 10:39 into the second, also on the power play, Roman Zapp puts it in the back of the net, off the post and in for the 2-0 score. And then most recently, with 4:53 on the clock in period number 2, it's Luke Morris getting his second goal of the game on what was a beautiful passing play from Topi Pukkanen and Connor McNaughton. Put the Wranglers up 3-0 for their third power play goal of the game. And really the power play has been the bright spot. Luke Morris has been the finisher on these goals, but the Wranglers have done a really good job of setting him up for those goals, as Morris now has 2 against his former team, and he's on hat-trick watch. We have not had a hat-trick so far this season. Maybe tonight's the night. Luke Morris with a pair. Take a closer look at that third goal for the Wranglers. Looked like Topi Pukkanen was at the near half wall, kind of surveying the scene. He finds McNaughton down low below the near circle. And Connor McNaughton, who was most recently on Wranglers Weekly, by the way. It seems like every time a guy's on Wranglers Weekly, puts on a heck of a show the ensuing series. So just putting that out there, by the way. Connor McNaughton, you can catch that interview on our YouTube channel. Connor McNaughton down below the circle makes a beautiful pass over his shoulder on his backhand, finds Luke Morris waiting back door. And for Morris, it's on a platter. He tees it up and whacks it into the back of the net for the 3-0 score. Connor McNaughton having an impressive season this year. Has surpassed his career point mark that he set last year. He's in his second season with the Wranglers. He makes an excellent play there to set up Morris for that third power play goal. Similar position to where Morris was on the Wranglers' first power play goal. Pukkanen also factoring in on that one, so now Topi Pukkanen has a multi-point night. It's his 10th on the season. Kyle DeMarco gets the primary assist on that one, but in that goal, pretty much a similar story. Luke Morris waiting in pretty much the same spot. Wranglers with some beautiful passing were able to get it over to Morris, and he rifles it home on the one-timer for the score. And I think if that's the formula that the Wranglers have drawn up on the power play, they're in pretty good shape. I mean, it's fooled the Rhinos twice. And with all that passing, all that beautiful passing, it's hard for any team to stop. Other noteworthy events in the second period, we had a fight. Well behind the play, Henry McRoberts and Medrick Duke drop the gloves, fists fly. McRoberts gets a couple of lefties in on Duke, slams him down to the ground. Both get fined for fighting and 10-minute misconduct that should expire somewhere around the 12-minute mark of the second period. So we'll see them both back in period number 3. So that saga is far from over. Connor McDonough, well, he's been perfect so far, and I'll leave it at that. If any of you believe in the announcer's jinx, I won't say that word, but let's just say he's working on something very, very special. And if he's able to pull it off, it would be his second of the season. Not a whole lot of shots on the in-arena scoreboard. 10 for the Rhinos, 9 for the Wranglers. Seems a little low. I think they're being pretty conservative with awarding shots here in tonight's game. But nonetheless, McDonough has had a stellar night in net for the Wranglers. Joey Lavulo has been bested on the power play 3 times. He stopped 6 of 9. This is the first time the Wranglers have seen Lavulo this season. Last 2 times they came into this building and squared off against the Rhinos, it was Cale DePape in net. DePape is no longer a member of the Amarillo Wrangler, or excuse me, of the El Paso Rhinos. I believe right now he's currently a free agent unless he's recently been picked up. The Rhinos riding with the goaltending tandem of Lavulo and Manzi. And given the way that Lavulo has played here tonight, wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that we might see Michael Manzi tomorrow night. But we'll just have to wait and see. Wranglers well on track to come away from El Paso County Event Center here tonight with a victory. Just have to find a way to wrap it up and put a bow on it here and close it out in the third period. When we come back on the second intermission report, we'll take a look at some scores from around the league and talk about how the Wranglers are going to be able to finish this game off with a strong third period performance. All that and a little bit more when we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Wranglers lead 3-0 after 2 periods of play here in El Paso County Event Center. Wranglers with 3 power play goals in the second period. All scoring so far to this point came in the second period. Wranglers getting 5 power plays in the second period. Rhinos have had only 1 so far in the game. You got to figure some referees like to have even amount of change in both pockets. We'll see if the calls kind of swing towards El Paso's favor here in the third period, and if they do, the Wranglers penalty kill unit is going to be put up to the task. They've been perfect so far here tonight. Wranglers with a 3-0 lead. Look to close this thing out in the third period, but first, let's check in on some scores from around the South Division and see what's at stake here as things unfold right in front of our eyes. At Ector County Coliseum, late in the third period, that game is tied up at 2 between the Ice Wolves and the Jackalopes. New Mexico getting goals from Tyler Pfister and Luca Ricci. Odessa getting goals from Riley Rosenthal and Michael Kadlasik. New Mexico currently occupying that 5th spot in the South Division. Odessa in 7th, looking up, trying to move into the top 6. At Blazers Ice Center, it's the Brahmas and the Warriors. Lone Star, with about a minute to go, has a 3-1 lead, so it looks like the Lone Star Brahmas are going to get the victory there with goals from Charlie Masick, Owen Kerr, and Brock James. The lone Oklahoma goal scored by William Ulrich. Wranglers will see the Warriors one more time here on the final game of February, that being the 25th in Oklahoma. And lastly, over at American Bank Center, it's the Mudbugs and the Ice Rays. Corpus Christi down by 3 as the Mudbugs have a 3-0 lead. about midway through the third period. Get goals from Liam Fleet, Nick Marino, and Ryan Burke as the Mudbugs look to catch up to the Lone Star Brahmas at the top of the South Division. Mudbugs currently in that second place spot. So, takes us back to our game. And the story so far, special teams. In the second period, it was all Wranglers. You got to think, and it shouldn't happen this way, but sometimes it does. Sometimes the crowd can influence a call, and sometimes officials like to have, as I said before, even change in both pockets. We could see some calls headed the Rhinos' way, and if El Paso does head to the power play, it's going to be critical that the Wranglers' penalty kill stands tall. It's able to shut that down. We saw Amarillo benefit from having a lot of power play time. You don't want the Rhinos to do the same. I think secondly, the Wranglers just have to stay true to their game. The Rhinos are going to try and push back here in the third period. Wranglers, if they stay true to what they do, their system, their structure, there should be no reason why this Wranglers team should not be able to find a way to close this game out. The Wranglers have been a pretty stout defensive team this season. When they play to their structure, play to their ability, really rise to the occasion, the Wranglers have proven that they can close out games. And it can be a pretty tough team to beat defensively, especially when you got a guy like Connor McDonough in net, who's had a stellar performance so far. So for the Wranglers, just control the puck, make smart decisions. You're up by 3 right now. You don't need to do anything crazy. The longer you hold the Rhinos off the board, the better. Because if the Rhinos are able to get one on the board here in the third period, well, that could open the floodgates for a couple more. It could get the crowd re-energized, get them back into the game. Could also give the Rhinos momentum. If you're the Wranglers, you don't want any of that. So for the Wranglers in the third period, it might be time for some boring hockey. And I know a lot of people don't like that term. I mean, I use it jokingly, as there's really no such thing as boring hockey. But for the Wranglers, you just want to control the puck. You want to control the neutral zone. You want to control the flow of the game here in the third period. You don't want anything going the Rhinos' way to give them some momentum. This is a team that can score, they can punish you. You don't want any of that going their way here in the third period. So Amarillo, right now, they've done the scoring. They just need to find a way to keep the Rhinos off the board and cruise to victory. Pick up 2 critical points in the South Division playoff race. We got some more fans chugging beers. I knew you on NATV get to see that all the time. Again, we got some beers in bottles. We can't see how much is left in the can. I mean, who's to say that you only chugged half of that? I mean, usually when guys do chugs, they got to do them in clear cups so we can all see that you completed the chug. I guess we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, as the Wranglers have really dominated on the scoreboard so far at this point. Fans looking for something to cheer about here. El Paso County Event Center, as the Wranglers have silenced the El Paso crowd. We come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Third period action from the Sun City. It's the Wranglers 3 and the Rhinos nothing. You've been listening to the Wranglers' second intermission reports on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. all set for third period action here in El Paso. Wranglers with a 3-0 lead, looking to close this one out. They'll skate from right to left. Rhinos have some catching up to do. They'll look to find a way to rally back here in the third period. They'll skate from left to right. Rhinos fans getting fired up here before the third period. Wranglers have done a nice job of really taking that crowd element out of the game so far. The 3 goals in the second period. They're able to really silence the crowd down to a dull murmur. As the Wranglers' power play has been the #1 star of the night so far. Luke Morris with 2 goals, Roman Zapp the other. Connor McDonough perfect to this point. As the Wranglers have done a really nice job here tonight rebounding and rallying back after losing their last 3 games. I think this is the kind of response that we all wanted to see. We're all looking for out of this Wranglers team. The only question remaining is, can they close it out and get the victory? Ben Ivey will take the draw against Mason LaBelle. And we are underway for third period action. Rhinos will start from their own zone. Ginger has it glance off his stick on the near wall, onto the tape of Nick Troutwine, Wranglers defenseman. They will bank it off the far side wall into the Rhinos zone for an icing 18 seconds into the third period. And for the Wranglers, it's been a great season so far. Minor bump in the road, 3-game losing streak. 2 to Oklahoma, who's proven to be a pretty good team. They're the defending champs after all, and went to the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. But it looks like this is a Wranglers team that they can find a way to run the table, pick up some big wins down the stretch here. They could be posed for a deep playoff run, as the draw will be to the right of McDonough. Jack Ivey will take it, and he'll win it. Troutwine steps in, finds Gagnon, reverses it towards the far side. Rhinos pick it up at center. It's Torrey Lund knifing his way into the Wranglers zone, down the right wing. Lund looks to center, Troutwine bottles him up, forces him behind the nets. Bezier up top for Zarski, he'll shoot. Goes off the end wall. Pafelski gets his pocket picked by Gagnon, and the Wranglers will send it down to Lavulo for another icing. 45 seconds into the third. Mentioned it in the second intermission report. I'll mention it again. The longer the Wranglers keep the Rhinos off the board, the better. You don't want any momentum going the Rhinos' way. We can add penalties to that mix too. If you can avoid taking a penalty, by all means do. You don't want any momentum going towards El Paso's way. This is a team that can be dangerous on the man advantage, and they can score. El Paso sees the draw go back out towards the neutral zone. They try and fire it in, goes up into the equipment of Ben Ivey. And so from the blue line, the Rhinos will just wind it back in. On the near side, it's Troutwine. Playing it forward, Wranglers exit the zone. Jack Ivey from the red line flips it in as his line mates behind him go off for a change. Kruklitis tries to hold it in as the Rhinos send it back into the Wranglers zone. No icing as DeMarco gets there first. He beats out Triggs to the puck. Tries to shuffle it along to Pukkanen. Rhinos are able to peel the puck away from the pile. Pass up to the line, goes off a stick intended for Lindsay. It'll roll back towards Lavulo. Will play it back to his defenseman. From the neutral zone, Semenyuk in his first game as a Wrangler will hack it into the Rhinos zone. Is off the stick of Jacob Germain, the reigning South Division star of the week. As he plays it into the Wranglers zone, TJ Ritchie on his backhand feeds it for Zapp. I'll drop it back to Semenyuk. The Wranglers will rotate the puck around and then lose it at the Rhino blue line on the entry. Luke Lindsay from his own zone represented El Paso at top prospects, one of 3 skaters to do so, as Stefelski and Bolduc also went for El Paso. Wranglers also had 3 skaters, DeMarco, Pukkanen, and Zapp. Is at center ice, Morley Phillips plays it back to Gagnon. In the neutral zone, he looks for Luke Morris. Goes off his stick, and he scurries back to it and enters the zone, but gets divorced from the puck as 2 Rhinos converged on him. Cam Bezier enters the zone, and Looks like Tefelsky was offside. With 17:23 to go in the third period. Frank Tefelsky is a goal scorer, no doubt about that. 16 goals, 20 assists, 36 points, and 40 games coming into tonight's action. He's 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 6. But the thing that's most notable about him, he wears some big pants, and that's not a metaphor. His pants are really big. I mean, they stretch down all the way over his knees. But hey, it's working out for him, as he's the leading point scorer for the Rhinos this season. Usual zone draw. Won by El Paso, and quickly, Light Blue played dead for a hand pass. For a moment, that puck was caught up between the two draw takers, and it was batted back towards Zarski. And so now they'll just move this draw to the top of the El Paso blue line, right in front of the Rhinos bench. And now, they'll decide otherwise, they'll move it back to where it was before. Right in front of the Wranglers bench. It'll be Walker against Morris. Luke Morris playing against his former team. Spent a good part of the last season with the Rhinos before the trade to the Wranglers, and he's been a fan favorite ever since. Rhinos dump it in. McDonough gets it to the blue line. It goes off the skate of Zarski and back out the center, where the Rhinos will launch it back in. McDonough plays it. Rhinos able to hem it back into the zone behind the cage. Reed connects with Walker. Defending him is Morris. Wants to bottle him up against the wall. Puck squeaks from the pile to Kyle DeMarco. He'll lift it out to center, where it's flagged down by Germain. And the Rhinos look to charge up ice. Zarski, former Bruin, backhands a shot wide of the mark. Wranglers pick it up and go back on the attack as McNaughton down the left wing. Shoots it on goal. It's stopped by Lavulo. No rebound. He covers with 16:30 to go in the third period. Thought Connor McNaughton has had a heck of a game so far here tonight, making a big-time pass on that second Morris goal on his backhand to set up Luke Morris. He's been buzzing all night. He's going to take another draw here. He's been pretty good in the face-off circle. He'll take it against LaBelle, near circle of the Rhino zone. McNaughton sends that puck towards the wall. Rhinos scurry and get to the puck first and send it into the Wrangler zone, where Semeniuk will swing out right from behind his zone net. Get it to Miller at the red line. Wranglers look to get to work offensively as Cole Robertson settles the puck down. Centers it looking for McNaughton, and the Rhinos, just at the last moment, are able to get a stick on it. With 16:08 to go in the third period, Wranglers from their own zone look to get back to work. Rhinos from center get their pockets picked by McDonald. Wranglers look to move up ice, but the puck had other ideas. Onto the stick of LaBelle. He shoots, and Troutwine, with his stick in the right place at the right time, sends it into the protective netting with 15:49 to go in the third period. Draw is going to be the near circle of the Wranglers zone. Torrey Lund against Ben Ivey at the face-off circle. Ben this season wearing the Captain C on his sweater as El Paso wins it. Germain to his left. He shoots, and it goes off the end wall. McDonough sprawled out. Rhinos get the puck on the rebound. McDonough back to his feet as the Wranglers defense buys him some time. Bezier spins in the corner, gets it up to the line. Hiltonen whacks it towards the net. McDonough, quick as a cat, is able to jump on that puck with 15:27 to go in the third period. Both teams get a line change. The second line for the Wranglers comes back on. I like the chemistry that these three have developed. Zapp, McNaughton, and Pukkanen, all three with a point here tonight. Topi's got 2. And here he goes, down the right wing. Topi Pukkanen at the half wall is met by a Rhino, looking for a trailer. He does find one, but the Wranglers are forced back out to center, courtesy of A.J. Reed. Kruklitis, stretch pass looking for Zapp. It evades him as the puck goes behind Lavulo. Rhinos exit their own zone, look to enter the Wranglers zone, but they get stopped at the blue line That's something that the Wranglers do very, very well, especially when they have the lead. Stopping plays before they happen at their own blue line. As the puck rolls in on Lavulo, they'll glove it up with 14:45 to go in the third. And fans kind of sitting with their arms crossed, waiting for the Rhinos to do something offensively. But so far, the Wranglers have had an answer for everything they've thrown at them. Draw to the left of Lavulo. Morris will take it against Bradley Walker. Phillips to his left, Abrant to his right. Abrant playing in his third game as a Wrangler. Played in the 2 against Oklahoma. Recently acquired in a trade from Swedish hockey club Chiarenza. I'm excited to see what he can do in a Wrangler uniform. As from center ice, the Wranglers drive it in. Rhinos want an icing. There is none on the call. And so we keep playing as Ginger finds a man. Walker steps in, shot is blocked. And the Wranglers are able to sweep it away towards the near side boards. Big hit in the corner by TJ Ritchie on Ginger. And that draws bad blood as the arm is raised. Looks like El Paso is going to go to the power play, but afterwards, TJ Ritchie holding his ground. As it looks like Walker wanted a piece of him. TJ Ritchie is a big, big man, standing at 6'5", 225 pounds, and Ryan Ginger felt the full force of that in the near corner. Looks like he's going to be all right, gets back to his feet, picks up his equipment. And he'll skate back to the Rhinos bench, but looks like TJ Ritchie's going to take a seat here the next 2 minutes. And El Paso will get their chance on the man advantage, their second of the night. Wranglers 1 for 1 so far on the penalty kill. Four men starting the penalty kill for the Wranglers: McNaughton, Zapp, Troutwine, and DeMarco. Draw will be to the left of McDonough. It'll be Walker against Zapp. Zapp has been an excellent face-off taker for the Wranglers this season. It looks like they rely on him in these critical moments. And he gets the job done there. Gets the puck to Troutwine, who sends it down the distance for an opening clear. Crowd still pretty silent here, despite the Rhinos being on the man advantage. There's a big hit by DeMarco on Mathis as he entered the zone, and the Wranglers get another huge clear. And the bench howls with approval. Rhinos forced to restart from their own end. Lindsay flies through the neutral zone, drops it back for Bezier in stride. A move down the right wing, take a shot, blocked by Ben Ivey. Wranglers get to the puck, and Gagnon backhands it up to the line. It's gloved down by Lindsay, and on the second attempt, Jack Ivey forces it back out to center. So far, so good for the Wrangler penalty kill. As there's just 1 minute remaining on the penalty to TJ Ritchie. Rhinos start by going coast to coast, off the wall, bouncing towards McDonough, tries to clear it himself. Reed with the shot, and that one is fought off. Wranglers able to force the puck out to center and a little bit more. Jack Ivey doing it all there. Looked like on that last sequence, McDonough wanted to play the puck himself. Tried to send it down the length of the ice, and it got flagged out of the air by A.J. Reed, who then took a quick shot. McDonough was able to make the save. The Wranglers evaded any danger. Rhinos back on the attack. Wranglers steal it and get another clear. And the Rhinos look up to the heavens in frustration as they've been shut down here so far on the power play. Just 10 seconds remaining on that, and then Ritchie will be released. 12:25 remaining in period 3. Mathis moves it towards the right wing for Schepler, the former Minnesota Wilderness, who the Wranglers saw in a Wilderness uniform at the showcase in September. Rifles it in, Wranglers knock him off the puck. We're back to even strength. LaBelle to the left side for Shepler. He enters the Wranglers zone. Troutwine defending him. Forces him behind the net to Ginger in the near corner. Tries to reverse it backwards, but nobody there. Nolan Gagnon steps in and picks up the puck for the Wranglers. He'll bank it off the wall and all the way down for an icing with 11:48 to go in the third period. Wranglers leading 3-0 on 3 power play goals, all in the second period. Wranglers 3 for 5 on the man advantage here tonight. Drawn to the left of McDonough. Zapp wins it, gets it to the corner. He goes behind McDonough. Walker on his forehand, tries to drive towards the net. Bounces off the back of the cage. Bezier gets it back and turns and fires it towards the middle, looking for a redirection. Doesn't go his way. Lindsay shoots it towards the net, goes off a couple sticks and wide of the mark. Bezier cycles around like a hawk to the line for Lindsay. He shoots, pad save McDonough. Walker gets the puck back. El Paso getting some good zone time here. His arm is raised. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to be hooking. And we'll see who the culprit is with 11:13 to go in the third period. And it looks like, much to his dismay, it's going to be Bradley. Well, no, it's going to be Roman Zapp. Not sure why Bradley Walker had so much to argue about, but Roman Zapp goes to the penalty box, and we thought this might happen. We talked about it in the second intermission. Rhinos now starting to get some power play chances of their own. Wranglers have been stout on the PK so far. They're 2 for 2. They'll look to go 3 for 3. When we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Wranglers fresh off of a second penalty kill of the night. Will look to go 3 for 3 here in a game where they lead 3-0, and you don't want the Rhinos to get any kind of momentum, get anything going here to try and start a comeback. Wranglers have done a really good job on that last penalty kill sequence of bottling the Rhinos up at the Wrangler blue line. See if they can do it again with an opening clear. It's off the draw, the Wranglers win it, and they do get that early clear. They send it down the distance. Rhinos will have to start from their own zone. Germain picks up speed and drops it back for Lund. Tory Lund off the far wall, chips it to himself. He gets there first, although he's converged on by a couple of Wranglers. Jack Ivey steps in, tries to heave it out of the zone, but the Rhinos keep it in. Defelsky will fumble the puck, and Jack Ivey this time will get the deed done. Good work for the Wranglers. New men come on. 1:20 remaining on the penalty to Zapp. Lindsay enters. Backpedals at the blue line. Will catapult it around towards the near corner for Bezier. Get it to the line. Defelsky. Lindsay, one-timer. Didn't get enough mustard on it. As it goes well wide of the mark, Wranglers step in and send it down for another clear. And again, freshmen come on for the Wranglers after that clear. 52 seconds remaining on the Rhino power play. Down the right wing, Cameron tosses it across. He's looking for Ginger. Wrangler step in the way, and another Wrangler clear. Penalty kill unit has done an excellent job so far here tonight. Wranglers dominating special teams. That's why they're leading so far. LaBelle to Cameron on the right wing. Tries to center it for LaBelle. Pass goes well wide of him, and it'll be picked up by Ben Ivey. Moves up by short-handed. He's got 3 on the year. Jack Ivey streaking ahead. And Rhinos are able to get back and disrupt that. Jack Ivey has 2 short-handed goals on the year. Those Ivy brothers, man, they're pesky short-handed. Rhinos dump it in. Shepler from a sharp angle tries to shoot below the right circle. Troutwine gets in the way, and another clear from the Wranglers will do it for the Rhino power play. So the Rhinos come up empty-handed once more, and the crowd is dead silent. Down the right wing, it's Triggs. Tries to center it, and the pass is intercepted by McNaughton. Triggs was looking for Walker streaking in, and Connor McNaughton, who's having a heck of a game, steps in the way and breaks that up. His play gets turned towards the Wrangler end wall. Time trickling off the clock to the Rhinos' dismay. Centering feed goes up to the line. Hiltonen lays it down low, looking for Walker. Tries to center it, and McDonough smothers it up with 8:34 to go. And afterwards, we get some bad blood. Triggs gets dumped down to the ice after the whistle had blown. Now he springs up to his feet, tries to argue his case. Something tells me I'm probably going to get a penalty or 2 handed out here. As the Wranglers lead at 3-0. Shot count in favor of the Rhinos, 12-9. I think whoever is updating the shot count here in this game may have fallen asleep. So there's been well more than 3 shots combined here in the third period. So kind of just take that with a grain of salt. And my suspicions were incorrect. No penalties after that play. We stay 5-on-5. Draw to the right of McDonough on the far circle, but they drop that puck. We immediately get fingers pointed towards the scoreboard. I think they wanted some kind of adjustment. Looks like they got it. And the Rhinos win the ensuing draw. They go point to point. Zarski a shot off the end wall. Ensuing centering feed goes in and out. It'll be picked up by Morley Phillips on the near wing. Wranglers flip the script and pop out on the far wall. Stretch pass from DeMarco. Offline for Abrants. And an icing on the Wranglers with 8:14 to go in the third. So again, this draw comes back into the Wranglers zone. And it's going to be to the right of McDonough once more. Luke Morris with 2 goals tonight. Looking for the Hattie. We'll take the draw against Mason LaBelle. LaBelle started the season with Anchorage. Had 9 goals and 7 assists in 52 games over a couple of seasons with them. He's actually a cousin of Anders Bjork, former NHLer, now playing with the Rockford Ice Hogs. As the Wranglers exit their own zone. Puck bounces back to DeMarco. Finds Abrant at center ice. He'll backhand it deep into Rhino territory. Morley Phillips gives chase and throws a big hit on Mathis on the Rhino end wall. Phillips tries to settle down a bouncing puck. Zap in the fray trying to help him out. Rhinos try and peel the puck away, and they do. And at center ice, Mason LaBelle moved down the right wing. LaBelle on his backhand takes a shot. Save made. McDonough. Rebound bounces onto the safety of the stick of Roman Zapp. And he'll spur Coral Robertson down the right wing. Robertson goes corner to corner. On the near side, it's Jacob Miller. Rhinos steal the puck away from him as Ginger will gain the red line and fling it into the Wrangler zone and head towards the bench. 7:13 to go in the third period. Wranglers lead, still 3-0. Wranglers from their own zone. Gagnon waits behind McDonough. Cuts towards his right. Finds the stick of Miller at the red line. Puck glances into the Rhino zone. Starting up ice is Zarski. It's Mathis in stride. Backhand shot. Save McDonough. Rebound goes behind the Wrangler goal line. Lund is there. Coming away from the pile. Checked against the wall by Troutwine. Tefelsky steps in to keep possession for El Paso. Tries to go around the net and gets bumped away by Gagnon. Excellent defensive play there. Throws a little hit at the end to free Tefelsky from the puck. Lund backhands it towards the middle. It's picked off by McDonald. With his head up, skates through center, gaining some speed. From the middle, McDonald shoots, and that one's gobbled up by Lavulo with 6:10 to go in the third period. Wranglers looking to put a bow on it and cruise to victory as they lead 3-0 with 6:10 to go in the third period. We'll find out how this one ends on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
As my good friend and mentor Tyson Whiting would always say, it's a good day for 2 points. Wranglers just 6 minutes and 10 seconds away from picking up 2 very big points of their own to pull within 3 points of the El Paso Rhinos for third place in the South Division. Just a reminder that Wranglers Hockey is brought to you by Smoke Wagon Beard Balm, Coca-Cola, Austin Hose, Budweiser, Sonic, Contagion Athletics, and West Texas Sports Grill. As the draw will be on the near circle of the Rhinos zone. Zapp will take it, bouncing puck, goes onto the tape of McNaughton. He'll wing it around towards the far end for Puukkonen. Rhinos are able to wedge him away from the puck. And Bolduc starts to charge down the left wing. Goes around to Marco, spins to his forehand, centers one for Walker who shoots. Save McDonough on the rebound. Puukkonen is able to get it away from any more danger. Big save there from Connor McDonough. As McNaughton looks to play it out to center ice, and he does. Fluttering puck, glove down by Lavelle. Rhinos were quickly looking to go back on the attack, knowing that time is not on their side. But they are offside with 5:31 to go in the third. Just a reminder, tomorrow night's game will start at 8 o'clock Central Time. We'll have it for you here on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Call it 7:45 pregame show, as we are in the Mountain Time Zone here in El Paso. So I have to do a little calculation in my head for all you back at home, as the Wranglers dump it in to the Rhinos zone. On the attack, Phillips in the corner tries to jar it out of the possession of LaBelle. Wranglers steal. Abrant picks it off. He'll shoot, and it goes wide of the net. Looking for his first goal in the league. Nice steal there to intercept the pass. McRoberts will play it towards the neutral zone. Rhinos dump it in. Get a partial change. Meanwhile, Gagnon spinning away from the forecheck of Eddie Schepler. He's able to muster it back out to the neutral zone. Torrey Lund tries to enter the attacking zone, and he does. Gagnon falls down. Lund towards the middle, shoots, and a big save by McDonough. On the rebound, they score. It's Cam Bezier. He's in the right place at the right time, and the Rhinos make it a 3-1 game. That's unfortunate for Connor McDonough. Made a really nice save there on Torrey Lund. He was just flying down the left wing. Only had McDonough to beat, and he denies him. And then unfortunately the rebound caroms off a leg and onto the stick of Bezier. Well, actually, no, it looks like on the rebounds, Lund was able to get a piece of the puck and find Bezier backdoor. He was all alone. There's not really a whole lot McDonough could have done about it. And El Paso is on the board for the first time here tonight with 4.5 minutes to go in the third. Wranglers on the attack. McDonald's lost the stick, but that's not going to stop him as he kicks it in the near corner. Rhinos get it back out to center as down the left wing goes Zarski. Over Wranglers blue. Zarski to the middle. It's picked off by Jack Ivey. McDonald all alone on the breakaway. McDonald to the goal. Save made by Lavulo. McDonald had only the goalie to beat. And the Rhinos netminder stands tall. Meanwhile, Reed with the shot. Goes high and wide. Furious action on both ends of the ice. It's Pukkanen rumbling into the attacking zone. Late offside on the Wranglers as they're forced back out to center. Semeniuk will drive it in. Zap muscles away Triggs from the puck. Wranglers looking to set up shop offensively. He's in the far corner. Zap. It's checked by Triggs. Pukkanen steps in, gets the puck. At the line, exchanges. Semeniuk, a shot and a save made by Lavulo. And behind the play, Triggs and Zap were tangled up. And now they exchange a few words. A couple other eavesdroppers join the fray. Officials look to shut that down, but meanwhile you go back to the stop that Lavulo made on McDonald. Looks like he tried to hit him with a couple shoulder fakes. And Lavulo able to stretch out the pad to make the save. Got a tipper cap, that's a real nice one from 31 in black. Draw will be to the left of Lavulo. It'll be Luke Morris with Miller to his left, Phillips to his right, Ritchie and Semeniuk manning the blue line. A false start here on this draw. Linesman's got sticky fingers. Just drop the puck, buddy. And he does. Rhinos gonna back out to center ice. Wranglers slide it back in. A little over 3 minutes to go in the third period. Wranglers looking to close this thing out. Rhinos looking to build upon the momentum of their most recent goal. McDonough from behind his own net plays it on the Rhino dump in. Morley Phillips will charge up ice and from the neutral zone, tap it into the Rhinos end. El Paso tries to dump it back into the Wranglers zone, but McDonough out to play it, shuts down that bid. Down the right wing is Jacob Miller. Enters Rhinos territory, flings it across to the left wing for Troutwine streaking in. He'll center it towards the goal save made by Lavulo. It was in close quarters. Morley Phillips was also lurking in the area. From center ice, Ben Ivey, take a chop at it. Send it deep into Rhino's zone. El Paso, knowing time's not on their side, look to get to work as they'll glance off the stick of Walker and in. Wranglers subsequently respond by getting it back out to center ice. Jack Ivey over Rhino's blue. Turns towards his forehand, looks to find a trailer. And his pass had a little too much heat on it as McDonald was in the area, but it went in out the other side. El Paso will possess with a little over 2 minutes to go in the third. Wranglers have done a really nice job of shutting down El Paso offensively here in the third period. Limiting their scoring opportunities, bottling them up in the neutral zone. As a result, they have a 3-1 lead with another 2 minutes to go. Triggs from behind McDonough finds Ginger on his forehand. It's knocked off the puck nicely by Troutwine. McNaughton finds Pukkanen up ahead. Wranglers exit their own zone. Pukkanen gains center red. Moves it right wing looking for Zap. Rhinos step in, move back up ice. Germain knifing his way for a shot, and it goes off the end wall. Gagnon takes a whack at it. They'll send it down to an empty net, and he scores! Nolan Gagnon seals the deal, and the Wranglers have a 4-1 lead with 1:11 to go. And so that will put a bow on it. Wranglers are going to walk out of El Paso County Event Center with the 2 points and a big victory. Looked like on that last play, Lavulo had just headed towards the bench for the extra attacker. Gagnon dumped it, banked it off the boards. It just so happens he was right on the mark. Ended up in the back of the net. Robertson from the neutral zone finds Phillips in stride down the right wing. Looks to return it to Robertson as he was moving in towards the goal. Pass off the mark. Phillips on his forehand, drives it deep behind Lavulo. 40 seconds to go in the third. Lindsay sidesteps Robertson. Glances off the stick and into the Wranglers zone. Semenyuk fights off Triggs to the puck. They'll spar for it in the corner. Semenyuk just pinning it up against the wall. Time trickling away. 10 seconds to go. A couple more bodies join. Wranglers bench tapping their sticks in approval. This game is over. Wranglers win 4-1. Smoke them if you got them. The Wranglers are back, baby. They snapped the losing skid with a big victory in enemy territory over the El Paso Rhinos. Luke Morris, 2 goals. Zapp and Gagnon, the other 3 second period power play goals will lift the Wranglers a victory here tonight, but we can't overlook the stellar performance from Connor McDonough in goal, stopping 14 of 15 as the Wranglers emerge victorious. And the beautiful sound of silence here in El Paso, fans at home with tears in their eyes. The Wranglers, for much of tonight's game, were able to silence the Rhino faithful, had an answer for everything that El Paso threw at them, and are able to emerge victorious. Wranglers postgame starts now. What more could you want from the Wranglers in a game where they needed to bounce back? They needed the 2 points. They needed to find a way to snap the losing skid. This is how you do it. You do it in dominant fashion in enemy territory against the top team in the South Division. You do it by winning the special teams battle, playing excellent defense, and getting a great performance in net from Connor McDonough. Smiles all around as the Wranglers pick up the first game of the 2-game set. We'll be back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock Central puck drop. Call it a 7:45 pregame show. Wranglers and the Rhinos will finish off that game there, and then the scene shifts to the Budweiser bullpen next weekend for 2 more. Friday and Saturday, the 16th and the 17th. 17th, First Responders Night. Make sure you head on over to our Instagram, Facebook, and all our social media platforms for the jersey reveal tomorrow. The Wranglers First Responders specialty jerseys. You can see them in action. Shot a nice little video. Check it out tomorrow afternoon for First Responders Night. Wranglers, once again, the victorious 4-1 in El Paso. They now lead the season series 2-1 over the Rhinos. They now lead the all-time series 18-0-1 against El Paso. Smiles all around as the Wranglers improve to 24-13-5-2. Now with 55 points on the campaign, just 3 points back of the El Paso Rhinos. And I figure if the Wranglers can get a win tomorrow night and not surrender a point by taking that one to overtime, well, then the Wranglers would just be 1 point back of the Rhinos, heading back to home territory for 2 more against El Paso. It's a big game tomorrow night. It was a big game here. Wranglers found a way to emerge victorious. It was a big team effort. Special teams led the way as the Wranglers went 3 for 5 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. They got the job done. You saw some fist fly in the process. Henry McRoberts laying down the law here in El Paso. And the Wranglers get a big 2 points. I think that'll just about do it for us here at El Paso County Event Center. Wranglers victorious once again. They're back in the win column. They'll look to improve upon it tomorrow night in what should be Another high-spirited affair between the Amarillo Wranglers and the El Paso Rhinos. I think we're going to do 3 stars here tonight. I mean, number 1 star has got to be the power play. Number 2 star got to be the penalty kill. Number 3, Connor McDonough. I think that's fair, wouldn't you say? But if we're going with actual players, I think Luke Morris had a heck of a game. Of course, the 2 goals. Can't overlook that. I think he's got to be the first star of the game. Second star almost had a shutout up until the very end. I think we got to go number 2, Connor McDonough. I think I got to go halfway on star number 3 between Topi Pukin and Connor McNaughton. The chemistry that those two have developed between each other is undeniable, and it's a dominant force. They both had a very nice showing here tonight, as Pukinen finished the night with 2 points, both assists. McNaughton had 1 assist on the second Luke Morris goal. And with that, we'll close out the night. Wranglers win it 4-1. This has been the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long from El Paso County Events Center. You take care, and we'll see you back again here tomorrow for another matchup between the Wranglers and the Rhinos.